Queensland and New South Wales saw significant, powerful and potentially dangerous thunderstorms yesterday, caught up in this bigger band of wet weather which was swamping the north and east of the country. We saw some pockets of very heavy rainfall associated with these thunderstorms through the afternoon, evening and into the night last night. Some spots reporting about 80 millimetres of rain within an hour. That is a very intense burst of wet weather. Certainly did lead to some areas of flash flooding. It led to some river level rises in Queensland. I think a couple of people and cars got trapped in those rapidly rising rivers as well. Alongside not just the heavy rain, we also saw some giant hailstones about 6 or 7 centimetres across on both sides of that Queensland-New South Wales border, and a few damaging wind gusts were thrown in for good measure as well. It certainly was some fairly active, disruptive weather as those storms got going through the day yesterday. They lingered into the night as well, but after about midnight last night, they did just settle down a little bit. Still some rain around for sure, but currently not quite as intense or heavy as what we were looking at yesterday afternoon.
Well, Angus, what does this then mean for flood warnings in affected areas?
Well, the risk of more rain is present there today. We could see more wet weather across the north of New South Wales and much of central, eastern and southern Queensland today. And caught up in this big band of rain, we're likely to see smaller pockets, smaller areas of thunderstorm and severe thunderstorm activity. So that means localised areas of quite heavy rain definitely on the cards again today. Now that heavy rain won't hit everyone, but the risk is quite extensive. So there is a chance that heavy rain could hit a number of different locations. And if that happens to be on the same spots that got heavy rain yesterday, which is absolutely possible, then the ground obviously from yesterday's rain is waterlogged, it's wet. So that rain today is going to hit the ground, it's not going to soak in, it's going to immediately start to run downhill and it's going to end up in the river network, and we could see some very rapid river level rises if that rain happens to fall in the same spots that it fell yesterday. So we've seen a few rivers already with moderate flood warnings in place. We certainly could see other rivers see some flooding today if that rain kicks in, particularly again after lunch.
All right, well, let's move away from the wet weather. I want to talk about this fire weather warning in parts of New South Wales.
Yeah, quite different feel. Once you get to the western side of the Great Dividing Range, it's a really different weather situation for today. So most of the rain and storms on and east of the mountains, but to the west it's much drier. It's also really quite windy out that way, and temperatures, they're not sky high. It's not a scalding hot day, but at this time of year, even a fairly warm day is still giving us temperatures that are warm enough to lead to dangerous fire conditions. So we have got high to extreme fire danger due to that combination of windy weather, dry weather and warm enough weather across particularly western parts of New South Wales. So certainly be cautious with all things to do with fire. There are some total fire bans in play for some of those western districts on the western side of the ranges there. So obviously take heed from those as well. So really significant conditions on both sides of the mountains today.
All right, well, Angus, look into your crystal ball for us. Are we expecting some of this extreme weather to spill into the coming week?
We're actually not really, at least not for a few days. So the wet and stormy weather across the east coast should clear almost everywhere by the very end of the day today. By about midnight tonight, we'll be seeing the tail end of that weather system. The only exception to that is the far north. So far north Queensland and the top of the Northern Territory will be seeing rain storms continuing into the new week. But across the rest of eastern Australia, it will really settle down by Monday morning. Quite a different feel to the weather on Monday. Generally bright, sunny and mild across much of Australia. So we'll see a good few dry days for those areas that have been affected by storms. Although if you do live up in the far north, wet weather continuing, and if you live way down in the south for Victoria, Tasmania, a cold and showery few days lie ahead. But in between those two, it's fairly calm for the outlook.